Hello, everybody. This is Douglas Bailey, and this is my assignment for facilitating creativity and innovation, utilizing the 4 C's: creativity, collaboration, communication, and critical thinking. I put together a history choice board. I teach social studies as well as ELA. Social studies is broken down into 4 different spaces: history, of course, economics, civics and government, and then last but not least, geography. So I chose to focus on the history portion of social studies. And the way that our GED textbook is set up, each chapter in history comes with 3 key ideas. These are the things that our students need to walk away with. Typically, I turn those key ideas into how and why questions. Each key idea is already listed in their book. So for the first one, we have European explorers sought wealth and conquest in the New World from the 1400s to the 1600s. So both of these assignments basically help to reinforce the information that would be needed from key idea number 1. I wanted to create a choice board that would reinforce all of the 3 key ideas. What I did was I put together 2 assignments for each key idea, and we'll go through those now. So first and foremost, we have study.com, which we have a subscription to through the New Jersey Youth Corps program. It has been a wonderful addition to our program because it gives our students the opportunity to gain enrichment outside of school hours. So we usually assign those modules to students over, let's say, extended breaks for holidays or over the weekend in lieu of giving homework. This has been something that has been very productive for us. The good thing about study.com is that they have these videos that focus on specific topics that I'll cover in class, and then the students will do a short assessment afterwards. From there, we're able to see if the student even watched the video, how many times they attempted to take the quiz, and then their scores for each time to achieve a score of 100% before completion. So I want them to at least gain that. Afterwards, using Google Docs, write 1 paragraph explaining the connection between the video and the key ideas. Use phrases such as, for example, when illustrating those connections. So checking this one link here, and that is here. Okay, so students will watch the video and then go directly to the quiz portion. So that's part 1. Part 2, we're looking at 3 G's. Okay, 3 G's: gold, God, and glory. 3 main reasons why the Europeans came to the New World. So students will familiarize themselves with 3 G's and the pros and cons of exploration during that time. Then students will create an infomercial longer than 5 minutes, but no longer than 10 minutes, persuading their fellow Europeans to join the journey. In their infomercial, students must explain the connection to the 3 G's, address at least 1 exploration obstacle, and provide a strong rebuttal. All students must participate and have a speaking role on one of the topics presented. The infomercial can be recorded through Zoom at a time all group members agree on, and then they will present that. So this definitely ties into creativity and collaboration and communication and critical thinking. The first assignment is not a collaboration, but the first assignment definitely speaks to critical thinking and communication using the Google Doc paragraph. And then the 3 G's infomercial contains all 4 of the 4C elements. So students can refresh themselves on what the 3 G's of exploration are. And then they're going to pick 1 obstacle of exploration. Let me scroll down. Here it is right here. Poor maps and navigational tools, disease and starvation, fear of the unknown, lack of adequate supplies. So they'll pick 1 of these, and then they will offer a rebuttal in their infomercial. Once again, I want to put students in the shoes of the Europeans and give them an idea of what motivated them, what inspired them to come to the New World to begin with. So hold on, let me move this here. Okay, so that's that piece there. And then if they needed additional information on what an infomercial is all about, they can go to this link below and they can use this 5-step process. All right, and they'll go through here and they will create this infomercial. And it's good because it also will build on those communication skills. They're going to have to work together, and they can use Zoom as a platform to record their session. All right, so now we're moving on to page 2. All right, so for key idea number 2, the 13 colonies declare independence from England in 1776. Here we have our 2 assignments, 2 choice board assignments based on that. The first one is gamification, great interactive simulation called For Crown or Colony through missionus.org. Students will individually play the gaming simulation as a 14-year-old teen in Boston during 1770, a tumultuous time in the colonies of America. Interacting with both patriots and loyalists on this journey, students will decide how to maneuver through the beginnings of the revolution which birthed the United States. Once finished with the game, students will comment on their learnings through video or audio format using the Peel the Fruit prompt. Once finished, upload an email with the subject line PTF exercise. Mission US has these interactive simulations where it's like almost like Choose Your Own Adventure, those books from a couple years ago, and they'll make decisions based on different things that are historically accurate from that time period. So you're playing a 14-year-old apprentice, and this young man, he is going to be in the midst of the tension between the patriots and the loyalists, and he has to make decisions based on that. So this will be an individual assignment, but once again, creativity, communication, and critical thinking is extremely important with this. Okay, and then they'll go to this after they finish the simulation, and they will peel the fruit. So what did you see, observe, or notice? How does this story fit in with your life? Another text, your world. Once again, just more critical thinking. Just trying to dig a little bit deeper into their mind to see what type of understanding they gain from this, because gamification has that kind of gray area where you just don't want the kids just to have fun. Obviously, fun is a part of it, but they also have to gain some learnings from it. So I feel like Peel the Fruit will give me a little bit more of an insight of how much our students were able to comprehend with this particular assignment. And then Spread the News. They're going to create a patriotic poster for the local newspaper using Canva. And we all are familiar with Canva, and it's very popular. I love Canva. The key idea must analyze the hows and whys of America wanting its independence from Great Britain. So using your book and the other resources you've had thus far, create an advertisement poster for your local paper that signifies at least 3 reasons why the colonies should secede from their parent country and defy King George III. So when we talk about taxation without representation, obviously that's one of the reasons that they could focus on. They can focus on the intolerable acts. They can focus on the Boston Massacre, but they're going to create a poster that is advertising why we should secede away from Great Britain. Because, obviously at this time in America, some people were loyalists, some people were patriots. So, persuasive. We're trying to give persuasive evidence on why we should secede. You can name the reasons in bulletproof form and make sure that each is a complete sentence. Be creative with your poster. Think of colors, fonts, and additional pictures you can add to your piece to make it stand out. Just make sure everything is historically accurate for the time. Once again, this feeds into creativity, communication, and critical thinking as well, not collaboration on this one. And then last but not least, we have our key idea number 3 that we're going to reinforce. America won its independence in 1783 and ratified the U.S. Constitution in 1788. We're going to set this off with the Do I Have a Right game, which I'm very fond of. It comes from icivics.org. The Bill of Rights contains the protections and freedoms of all Americans. We spent a lot of time learning about the 10 amendments. Now we can put our comprehension into action through a gamification activity. Working in your assigned partner pairs while in school. So this is going to be a collaboration. iCivics has what's called a partner paired option when you play the game Do I Have a Right? So that way team members can feed off of each other, which is really cool. In this simulation, team members will become lawyers in a new firm, accepting clients to represent them in constitutional law cases. So a client will come to the office. Let me just show you what this looks like. Okay, and this is loading up. We're not going to go through the whole game, but basically in the simulation, clients come to the office presenting a problem, and then they will ask, due to the Bill of Rights, do they have a case? So for instance, if somebody is, let's say in Texas, and they get arrested for open carry, we know that our Second Amendment right provides us the privilege of having a firearm. And so that person coming in says, well, do I have a right? Do I have a case here? And the student will have to, based on their knowledge of the Constitution, they will have to say yes or no. And then they go through the process there. So this also comes with a amendment guide. Partner pairs will complete the entire game, ask for their assessment to be imprinted, because they'll have an assessment at the end of the game that will say how well they did. And then they will complete the study guide together with the teacher facilitating as a group classroom activity. Game invites will be sent through email. So there is a full group activity that we'll all come together. So that feeds into collaboration, and we'll go through the study guide together. And the study guide will ask different questions. Here is the amendment guide right here. So this is something that students will have as they go along, just to make sure that they have knowledge about the Constitution and the amendments that our country allows us. And then the classroom guide, once again, the classroom activity will be done as a whole. So the teacher will play the role of facilitator, will pull the study guide up on the whiteboard, and we'll go through it as a class. And last but not least, seek to see. Students will see the point of Black people during the time of the revolution, pick one of the 4 stories and read about the individual plights of each person. From there, students will complete the seek to see prompted questions on Google Docs. So this comes from amrevmuseum.org. Okay. And it says in 1781, over 200,000 enslaved men, women, and children labored in Virginia's fields, kitchens, stables, and shops. Discover the difficult decisions free and enslaved people of African descent made when the Revolutionary War tore through Virginia. So each one of these brave African Americans has a story, and I want to teach empathy through this, critical thinking through this. So I want our students to learn and pick up some things. After that, they'll go through this seek to see thinking routine, and they will gain hopefully some empathy through seeing through this person's eyes, through these individuals' eyes. What might this person's various feelings be in this situation? What might be this person's strengths, cultural richness, and power? So these are very important questions that once again feed into critical thinking for the students. And that is the end. So thank you for checking out my presentation on my history choice board for my students at New Jersey Youth Corps. Have a good day.